Good morning, campers. Last week I put up a blog and a YouTube video called Stand Against Suffering. It was my reaction to an article that appeared in Lion's Roar magazine. I almost said Shambhala Sun. That I talked about, and you can look at the video and I'll put the link below and you can read the article and whatever. At the end of that video, as you may recall, I said something like, oh my god, I think I've committed career suicide here. This is exactly what I was thinking. It wasn't acting or hyperbole or anything. I thought, oh Christ, 1,030, no, 130 Buddhist teachers who are major people, who are, some of them are friends of mine, some of them run places that I regularly used to go to and speak at, have put this article up and really dedicated themselves to it. Oh God, I'm going to say something bad about it, and they're all going to hate me. Well, I haven't heard from anybody except one of the people who signed that piece, but I have heard from a lot of you folks out there, and the response was, to my amazement, overwhelmingly positive. I did not expect that at all. I thought I was just going to get hate mail to beat the band, and I really haven't gotten any. I have not checked Facebook comments because I kind of regard Facebook comments as a little bit like graffiti. You know, like you write something on the wall and run away. When I was in college, I was taking a philosophy course, and I remember the desk that I sat at, somebody had written, "Philosophy fucking sucks," F-U-K-E-N-S-U-X. Philosophy fucking sucks. At least they spelled philosophy right. And I liked philosophy, so I wrote something back. I don't remember, like, philosophy is great and you should learn how to spell, or, I don't know what I wrote. And came back the next class session, and they'd written something back in return. I think it ended at that point because you can never determine what desk you're going to get in a class. But when I look at Facebook, I'm always thinking, it's that again. So I don't put too much stock in what people write on Facebook comments. I'm sorry if you've spent a lot of time working on your Facebook comment to me, and I didn't read it. Write to me. I always put my address, my email address. It's bw@hardcorezen.info, and I'll put that at the bottom of this too. You can write to me directly, and I'll almost always write back. The only time I don't write back is if I get overwhelmed and I miss your email. Then I might not get back to you. But otherwise, always write back. I think the main thing that bugged me about the Shambhala Sun, Lion's Roar piece was the dogma. I got into Buddhism because there was no system of belief attached to it. So it didn't matter whether I believed in Buddha or didn't believe in Buddha or what I believed. I could still be a Buddhist and do this practice. Buddhists don't tell you you have to believe in God. They don't tell you you have to believe in Buddha. So where do they come off telling you you have to believe in a certain political philosophy? I don't get that. That's a real disconnect for me. So the dogma, I think, is what bugged me most. Now, if they had written their article and been really specific, I don't think I would have objected. If they'd said, for example, Donald Trump's immigration policy is bad because of point 1, point 2, point 3, we believe it violates the Buddhist principles A, B, and C, and if you want to add a kicker, suggest an alternate policy. You don't have to, but it'd be nice and make you seem more serious, more like you thought it through. I don't see how I could have objected to that. It was this blanket, we don't like Trump and you shouldn't like Trump either thing that really bothered me. Especially because I'm the target audience for this thing, As I said in my last piece, I don't like Trump. I voted against him. Nothing he said on the campaign trail was inspirational to me. Of the things he's done since he's been president, the best I've been able to say is, oh, that wasn't as bad as I thought it might be. This is not like, make America great again talking to you. This is a person who wants to be with you on most of these issues that I think you are concerned about. But But the way you're expressing your concern, I think, is damaging to your own cause. And that's something that I take issue with. Some people ask me, well, things like, well, then what should a Buddhist do? And this is precisely the kind of problem that I'm getting at. Is you don't ask me what a Buddhist should do. You figure that out for yourself as a Buddhist. That's the point of Buddhism, is that we all figure this stuff out ourselves. If you want to protest, go protest. Just don't block a fucking highway, because that's nonsense. But if you want to protest, do it. You want to write your senator, do it. You want to be a liberal, be a liberal. You want to be a conservative, be a conservative. Doesn't matter. I just don't like the idea of we are the religious people and we are going to tell you what God thinks you should do, which is, I think, the implication here. I'm not advocating here for complacency. There is an idea that if you are a Buddhist monk, and get that word monk, you withdraw from the world and you withdraw from that stuff. I'm a monk, technically speaking, and I don't consider myself to be withdrawn from it. But I don't think it is the point of Buddhism. The other thing I've heard a lot of, folks, and this is something, maybe if there are any Buddhist teachers watching this, they might want to take this to heart. I don't know if there are any, but maybe there are. I've heard from a lot of people who say that they are annoyed, maybe that's putting it mildly in some cases, by the fact that every time they go into their Buddhist center, wherever it is, they get a lecture about politics. And now I've heard this, when I heard it once, I thought, oh, that place is, doing it. And then twice, third, fourth, fifth, sixth time. Once you've heard it a few times, you realize it's a kind of a movement that must be going on elsewhere in the Society of Buddhism as a whole in America, where the so-called dharma talks are turning more and more into political diatribes, and people don't want to hear that. And I don't know why you Buddhist teachers out there are kind of forcing this onto people, because they're getting a lot of that. We are all, every time we turn on our television, every time we turn on our computer, look at Facebook, look at Twitter, look at any of those social media things, we're getting inundated with Trump, 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 for or against. Mostly against, frankly, which is fine, if you're against Trump. But most of the news I'm seeing is very anti-Trump. And do you need more of that at your Buddhist center? I don't think so. I think people come to places like Buddhist centers because they want to get away from that. They don't want to be inundated with more Trump for the next hour and a half. So let them have their time of quiet. Let them have their time of reflection. You don't have to mash the political buttons down on everybody. Anyway, this is just a short video to say thank you for the support. It has been, as I said in the beginning, very surprising. I did not expect to get a lot of support for these kind of views. And I'm probably, by saying that, opening the floodgates for the people to send me the hate mail now. But that's fine. Send it to me. I'll respond. Once again, as always, I appreciate you listening and watching, and there are places to donate below that. That's how I make my living. Check those out, and I'll have some links. And thanks. Bye.